Hello people, it's a Secret Anime Fan here, and today I'm going to do a video on Fullbody from One Piece. This video will be a story slash overview of the character of Fullbody, the Fullbody character. Although minor, I've always kind of liked him, so let's get started. Fullbody, also known as Iron Fist Fullbody or Double Fist Iron Fist Fullbody as he's known later on in the story, is a marine in the world of One Piece. Just on the off chance you have no idea what One Piece is about pirates and marines, but of course so much more than that as well. Fullbody first appears in chapter 43 of the manga and episode 20 of the anime. When first introduced, Fullbody is the epitome of smug and arrogant, whom sees himself as the lady man with a big ego. Despite these character defects, he's a somewhat good man who at the heart is for the safety of the people, as should be the role of a marine, which is not always the case for marines in the One Piece story. Fullbody most likely follows the code of moral justice over absolute justice that exists within the marines, meaning that he deals out justice depending on the situation and what is morally right, as opposed to absolute justice, which leaves like no ifs or buts when dealing out justice to pirates and the such. Fullbody's appearance changes over the course of One Piece. When he's first introduced, as you can see on screen, he's seen as looking quite suave, smartly dressed, and with his signature metal knuckles. But as the story progresses, he is seen in a more ragtag manner, looking more rough and more unkempt. There's actually likely a reason for this, but I'll get into that in a moment. Fullbody's story starts when we see him sharing a glass of fine wine with his date on the way to the Bharati restaurant, where he bumps into the Straw Hat Pirates and orders their ship to be sunk just before entering the restaurant. Thinking the job done, he enters the restaurant to court his date over dinner. This is where we see smugness and ego come into play. Once seen, it's clear Fullbody has quite a reputation in the East Blue, the area where Bharati is currently located. As all the restaurant customers know his name, something Fullbody relishes in and uses to impress his date. But things don't go quite well for poor old Fullbody, where once again, in an attempt to impress his date when he tries to flaunt his wine knowledge but gets the name of the wine wrong. Totally embarrassed, especially as he requested the wine in advance for the sole purpose of getting the name right so he can impress his date. In total internal anger, Fullbody puts a bug in his soup in the hopes of sabotaging the reputation of the restaurant and getting his own back, in which yet again he is totally embarrassed by Sanji, whom is one of the main characters. And well, long story short, Sanji beats up Fullbody for wasting food as Fullbody smashed the table in anger, thus wasting food. Fullbody was confident in his abilities and maybe slightly high on power of his rank of lieutenant. Unfortunately, this was Sanji's moment to shine, not Fullbody, so it's 1-0 Sanji. Fullbody's grudge against Sanji still holds to this day about 850 episodes later. Begrudged, shocked and ego in tatters, he leaves the Bharati restaurant. Unlucky for him, because things are about to get hectic. Sure, he does threaten to get the Bharati shut down, but after witnessing the madness that is the Bharati restaurant, stated he didn't want anything more to do with it. This may show he's a bit of a coward in this part of the story, but to be honest, I can't blame him for leaving. But that's not the end of the story of Fullbody. He's seen a few more times over the years. Next time we see him is during the Django's Dance Paradise, which is a manga cover story, which is usually used by Oda over the years to give little stories and characters on the cover page just before the manga starts. And this one is definitely a funny one. Fullbody is seen competing in a dance contest, so yeah, it turns out Fullbody knows how to bust out a good old move, or a good old dance move, and I can definitely imagine him doing so. Fortunately, Fullbody catches another L, coming second place to Django, whom was in disguise as Django was a pirate at the time, and this manga cover story kinda covers the origin of the Fullbody and Django friendship. More on that in a minute. Django and Fullbody soon became friends despite not knowing each other's identities. Soon Fullbody shows his true nature and I suppose shows he's a bit of a badass. When a group of pirates invade Mirable Island, the island where the dance contest was being held on, Fullbody is shown that he can handle himself. It's only when the pirates take a hostage that Fullbody took the L. Luckily his newly formed friend Django, whom had initially fled the scene after the arrival of pirates and the fact that the marines were looking for him, came back to aid his friend to turn the title battle and they pursue to kick ass. Fortunately, Fullbody has to arrest Django. Yes, I know I was talking about the possibility of Fullbody having a moral justice, but that's usually situational and there's usually a limit to it as well. Luckily, Fullbody does actually reinforce this argument in the same cover story when Fullbody sticks up for his newly formed friend in court in a humorous way, with a objection in the way of dance which gets the whole courtroom in an emotional dance fest which sways the court to acquit Django. This comes to a cost to Fullbody, whom on the condition that they acquit Django that he be demoted to the rank of seaman recruit, which from lieutenant is I believe a 1 rank demotion, which does really show despite his initial induction of being arrogant, a snobby kind of character, it shows he's not too bad of a guy. The story continues for Fullbody, and this can be seen as the next step in his character progression and career, to be honest, when both Django and Fullbody, who are enamoured by Captain Hino, he's also in the cover story, in which they both become part of Hina's crew of Marines. And that's the end of the manga cover story, so let's move on. The next time we see him is in the Alabaster Ark, and he's noticeably different. He's still rocking the metal knuckle dusters, but he goes by a different name now. He goes by Double Iron Fist Fullbody. Still comes across a bit cocky, but this may be due to bumping into the people who humiliated him. He's seen rocking a marine hat and a blue top, and the rest is seen on the screen. Fullbody and the rest of the Hina Marines attempt to stop the pirates from escaping Alabaster, but I'll spare you the details. They are seen briefly in another manga cover story called Miss Golden Week's Operation Meet Baroque Works, where Django and Hina track down the remainder of the Baroque Works, whom were the baddies in the Alabaster Ark. Don't want to go too much into that story because it contains spoilers. Basically try and capture them, but to mixed results. But care to guess what happened to Fullbody? Yes, he caught another L. He's seen briefly again here and there, such as during the Marineford arc, which he is told to come help reinforce Marines at Marineford. When he is seen, amazed at the feats of the Marineford War. I'm not going to go too deep on this arc as it contains spoilers, and I want people to experience the greatness that is Marineford. In the anime, there's a scene where Django and Fullbody try to stop Luffy in his path, but while Django was trying to hypnotise Luffy, he ends up hypnotising himself and Fullbody. He's seen again during the Zou arc, accompanying the Nefertari family, it's quite a hard name to pronounce, during the Reverie, which was a much anticipated arc. And he is seen once more during the same arc when Marines intercepted communications between the two Yonkos. Yonkos are like the four big pirates in the One Piece universe. I should quickly add there are some manga and anime difference to the Fullbody story. For example, in the manga he has a battle with the two bounty hunters, Johnny and Yusaku, at the Barati after he insulted them. There's an added scene in the anime as well, where at the beginning of Low Town arc, where Fullbody encounters Luffy and co, and you guessed it, he catches another L. I guess you could say he got full-bodied, get it? Side note, during this appearance, Fullbody is already demoted, which goes against the Django Dance Paradise manga cover story that states his demotion was due to reflecting badly on the Marine's image after getting so easily defeated by Sanji. Now, not much is known about Fullbody's abilities and powers because one, he gets such little screen time, and secondly, he's often caught catching the L, but his style with fighting is that of a brawler, using his signature knuckle dusters to deal out damage. And he can handle the weaker characters in One Piece world, like fodder pirates and people like Johnny and Yusaku, but when it comes down to higher tier characters, he's shown to be no match, so against Sanji for example. What I found interesting about Fullbody, he seemed to not be knocked out by Luffy's Conqueror's Haki, meaning that he must have a somewhat strong will. Think of Conqueror's Haki as a knockout power that people with a weak will or weaker will get knocked out. Not the best explanation, but I'm trying to save time here, so go look it up for yourself for more info. Since being teamed up with Django as a partner, Fullbody seems to have a more silly and goofy style of fighting opposed to his earlier, more serious demeanour. This is also reflected in his appearance as seen on screen. Just before I end the video, I've got a couple more things to talk about. I suppose I'll just start with Fullbody's relationship with Captain Hina, as it can be seen as quite important, I suppose. Hina took Fullbody and Django on as subordinates when she realised their potential strength, noting that they had decent enough strength at the time in the earlier parts of the One Piece story. Hina is a somewhat serious and stoic kind of marine, but she seems to not take things too serious when it comes to Fullbody and Django, often forgiving them when they are being silly and goofy, dancing around and as such. She also lets Fullbody and Django wear their own choice of clothes instead of the clothes of their rank of seaman recruit, meaning they probably have a more special relationship compared to our other crew members. As I said before, both Django and Fullbody adore Hina, but she doesn't seem to return the favour. I think she does in her own way, like them though, hence like letting them wear their own clothes and stuff. I want to quickly mention that before we are introduced to Fullbody attempted to capture the Krieg pirates, the baddies in the Barati arc, but fails to when he's tricked by Krieg's second-hand man Gin into following him instead of Krieg. He captures Gin but not the Krieg pirates. And that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed. And now I could have gone into more detail in this video, but I wanted to save time, so I recommend you go and watch the One Piece anime for yourselves. It really is a great anime and manga. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope it helped you learn a thing or two about Fullbody and maybe the One Piece world as a whole. Look out for more videos like this on my channel. I upload things as much as I can. Please like and subscribe, and see ya.